Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it. This is Samson Tone, Liberian Public Radio. It's Friday, so why not? But I want to bring your attention to a show that I'm going to be having tonight. It's going to be very interesting. I'm encouraging all of you, those of you that are listening to this video, to tune in tonight, because perhaps this might be some of the reason why we have all of the mess that is going on in our own country, because you have to listen to these things. These things, the trouble we've been having in Liberia didn't start overnight. These are things that's been happening from time to time. There are those who came before us, past generation, failed to recognize these things, and will continue to repeat them, and because we ourselves have not yet able to recognize and see if these things can be rectified, so that this country, beautiful country of ours, can be built just by our hands as Liberian. It doesn't matter who you are at this point. Concord country, it doesn't even exist anymore. We're all one another. We're all one country, one people. But if we do not understand why these things are happening to us, we're most likely not going to be able to find solution. So I ask you tonight to join me.
Yet, how does one begin to help people who swim on their own flooded streets to voting booths to vote incompetent criminals back into office?
Yes, that is a big question we all have to answer. How do you help people who will go to the voting booth swimming in their own flooded streets just to vote people in offices who are incompetent? And those incompetent people that are being voted in offices will also appoint people who are also incompetent. So this is like a big deal. How do we help our brothers and sisters to make sure that their voting rights are utilized effectively? They have the voting cards. They must be told how important their voting cards are to all of us. And so I'm saying, those of us that have this platform, this is not time for hate. You don't come into this because you hate. You must do all you can to educate the voters themselves, how important their voting cards are. Because of their vote, our leaders will be able to do what is right for our people. Join me this evening as I try to explore this particular question, and many more that will be coming. Join me this evening at 8 Eastern Time, 5 Pacific, where we will take on this question and be able to see how much we can go. With your help, we, the Liberian people, will be able to educate our brothers and sisters that have the right to vote whoever they want, but they must do so with responsibility. This is Samson Toll, Liberian Public Radio. Thank you very much.
C'est au-dessus de moi, encore une autre fidèle qui l'Amérique n'a pas loupé. Quand il y a Sylvie, il y a un point qui a loupé presse. L'Amérique n'a pas loupé. T'as bien de moi avec en ce moment, on va battre au moins, néo. Mon temps dit, t'as mon mouillé, on s'est battu pour moi, il pleure. Avec la locale.
Doing anything that people get amended, and there will be from 2005 to date. We're all doing anything. I've done something. Trust me. I'll be re-elected. You understand? So you don't need to fight. You don't need to destroy your country. You don't need to even condemn your country. You have to be inspired, peacefully, and then convince the people, persuade people. Politics is about persuasion, and it's about what you have done for your people. I have done so much that I don't need pay for. You know why I don't need pay for? Because Liberians love me and they promoted me when I was on a soccer page. You understand? And they were proud to be Liberian when I was on the soccer page. And I've done my best for my country. I'm a former peace ambassador. It doesn't matter what people say. I'm on record.
Yao, abela lokeyo, bivito jogbai, bivito inoba, matisi mokeyo. Manager Gigi, ouais peut jamais forcer ou, si tu connais, tu connais. L'animateur Choco Noska Yassen de Toyebi, l'homme a tout fait pour Mivito, Aniche les deux.
Henry, I can tell you the problem of this country with respect to prices, with respect to health, with respect to education, and largely tied to roads. There are no roads. You don't see opportunities where they should be when you don't have roads. From up to 173 years, we only have one road. How do you know what is happening in Bapolu when you don't have roads? You don't go there. The prices of goods, commodities on the market are high because to get them to where they are needed. So there's no way you can, when I talk about road, I'm not talking about putting road on the sidewalk in Monrovia, $50,000 road and make it $3 million. We're talking about roads that will open up the country. We're talking about roads that will open up opportunities, roads that will get businesses going, and dependency reduced because people believe their goods and commodities can get to the market. That's what we're talking about.
But we will prosecute and will confiscate assets that people steal and acquire by illicit means. I often say that in Liberia, when people get caught, they send their wife, they send their children, they send their relatives, whatever, to come and beg. I'm saying the Liberian people, don't come and beg. You know, don't come and tell me, oh, stand to help you get elected. He talked nice about you on the radio station. Now he's stealing, so forgive him. Stanley should have known when he was stealing that we're going to punish him. So there's going to be consequences. That's the first thing. Then we have to make sure we're paying people a living wage. So we did the arithmetic, we did the math in 2017 that when you look at policeman's salary or healthcare worker's salary or teacher's salary, by the middle of the month, the money finished. By the time they pay rent, they buy food, they pay the children tuition, and of course, they're not going to starve, right? So the policeman will pull you over, the teacher will accept bribe, they change grades.
Why will we have sound? We are muted. That's why there was no sound. Okay, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Thank you, thank you, thank you, folks. Those of you, no sound, no sound. I apologize, strongly apologize. Usually when I do these things, but I'm supposed to be checking here and there. But I want to thank you, thank you very much for making it clear to me. Let me see if there's sound. No sound. Okay, we have sound now. I think we do. Okay. So thank you for bringing that, lady. Thanks for your persistence of calling. I really, you see, this is why I appreciate all Liberian Public Radio audience, because most of the time people I call one time, he answer, let him go on, but the person keep calling. Thank you. I really want to thank you, and God bless you for that. Thank you very much. As I was saying. So you didn't hear anything that I said based on this record. Let me start over. We have time. We don't have to stay here on that, but let me start over. What I was saying here was this music here, who owns the land? Okay. Those days, the music came up back at the end of 1979. The rice riot had just happened. I was very, very young. Man who has no business in the street. Man who's supposed to stay home. The age I was supposed to stay home, but I was in the street. Who cares? Anyhow, so the point I'm making is, so when after the rice riots, many of us were down. Because I think I told you guys some time ago, I was living on Camp Johnson Road, and right opposite Oreo. If you know many of you don't even know what Oreo is, but those of you that remember what Oreo is, you know how old Samson told me by now. But anyway, right opposite Oreo. So that during the rice riot, I was in the street, and my little brother, who was in the army at the time, pulled me off the street forcibly. I mean, he was very angry. If I see you in the street again, then I think I'm gonna do the killing, and then they will catch me. So I went in how when we were putting the tear gas, people say you can rub the only way you can bottle the tear gas. Use potato green, rub in your hand and wrap it in your face. The tear gas will go over. We're doing all that. But when a young man kicked me out of the street, I went home, took a quick shower, changed, came back in the street. But this time I was not participating. I was a spectator now, standing on the sidewalk. So as one truck came down right before me, the army guy jumped out of the car, and the rifle went off, killed a guy right before all of us, right there on Camp Johnson Road, right opposite Oreo. And it came very close to me as well. My first cousin, in Slipway, right up Crown Hill, going down Slipway, Crown Hill and Broad Street, after Crown Hill Cinnamon. Another similar situation. The army guy jumped out of his car. The rifle went out, but this time it hit my first cousin in the groin. Almost killed him. When I went home the other day, he and I were talking about it. We're laughing about it, of course, but he spent some time in the hospital. But the point here, this music, it was something that had us some sort of satisfied. We were asking questions: who owns this land? Because our brothers and sisters that were supposed to let us know we're all free. If I want a certain thing, for example, if I wanted to come to the United States those days, I didn't know where I was going to do that. But I have to go back to Total and bring 1 or 2 goats, give it to somebody who would then help me to get papers together. Meaning, don't let people fool you. Many Liberians from the countryside used to do that. Okay? So the question was, who owned this land? Why are we being suppressed like that? Because if you listen to that record also, the guy, Sonny Kusu, was also asking questions about South Africa, Namibia, and all the places, because they were all struggling at the time to gain independence, be free. So the question we ourselves was asking as a young people, who owns this land? So Papa Land was some record that was really, really into us. So when it came at the end of 79 or so, it was a wonderful, wonderful music. So I was saying the best time that I used to enjoy the music was to play around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. Very low, very low. I was living on Camp Johnson, as I say, one room apartment, which I consider to be like a mansion. It's a big room. What was it? It was maybe about 15 by 17, the most, or even less. The bed here, the shoe, how do you call it again? Not shoe rack. what's the name of that stuff? The one you put your shoe and your not clothes rack either. Oh, dresser? No, they're not dresser. Whatever. But you put your shoes on it. It just once set like that. You put your shoe and you hang your clothes up. Okay. But anyway, you get that. The table is there. That's it. That's it. And but I was working with Ministry of Education. At first, I started with the ministry at making $75 a month, and then I moved up to. Remember that I was working for my mom. I was in there to just work. My mom brought me in, so I was there after 75, less than 2-3 months, $100. So I was making a lot of money. Out of the $100, I was able to buy food, buy a bag of rice. Still, I was able to buy food, soup. We can get soup anytime. Able to buy clothes, shoes, specifically shoes because I like shoes. Those days, not anymore. Right now, that's so I don't call it Walmart can be wearing. I'm wild doing with shoes. I'm tired with those things. I'm not here to dress anymore. So anyway, so those are the days. And those days when you're walking with your bare balance. I'm putting people are gonna know my age right now, but you're walking with a polyester bare balance. And the only way you're gonna know that your platform shoes this high, and you're walking underneath the platform shoes, you put nails, I call it shoe protector, and you walking on the sidewalk, and as you're walking, the irons under your shoes grounding the sand, and you cry. Oh, Samson too. Ah, my goodness, you're going to Egypt raw. Of course, you're going to Egypt raw. Nowhere else. But anyway, so that was the music. And then when the coup came, then this music became real popular politically. And other brothers and sisters was hurting while other brothers and sisters were celebrating. That's how bad things were. But anyhow, as I was saying, now this music had taken on a different tone. Because most of the people that are seeking these higher offices in Liberia are the son and daughters of the soil. Not that those that were rooting us, suppressing us were not sons and daughters of the soil. They were. But what I'm saying now is I can leave from here, go to Monrovia, go to Ambassador BOAKAI house and say, Mwe, he will understand it. And say Naru, he will understand. And say Tato, he will understand. Any dialect that I speak, Ambassador BOAKAI will be able to understand it. Okay? And so if I go into conversation with Ambassador BOAKAI, start going to foyer and things like that, and how people can cut palm nut and things like that, how you take steak and put it up in the pantry and go cut palm nut, he will understand it. How you can go after bamboo warren, he will understand it. No question. How you can make the site to catch fish, he will understand it. No question. And so is Ambassador President Weah, and so is Mr. Cummings, and all of those people that are in there. So the record now, to say who owns the land, my interpretation, instead of who owns the land, who has the better idea that will move this country forward. This is the interpretation for me now, because it's no longer who owns the land. That question has already been settled. Nobody else going to ask question about that anymore. Okay. So I just thought that I gave you a little background about this music. And there was another one at the same time. It's called Wall of Nation. Sonny Kusu, he came up with some beautiful, beautiful music at the time that were politically inciting, to be honest with you. Politically motivating, to be honest with you. And so at that time also, it was revolution all over Africa, pretty much. The 60th revolution was over. We weren't even there. Some of us were not even around. But then the 70s and the mid-70s, not the early 70s, forget it. I was still wearing diapers, somewhere in total and running around. But the mid-70s and the 80s, when it came around, no beer at that time still. But my mom made it clear to me. My Bertha Baker Ezanko made it clear to me that education is the only way out. She pointed out to me, because she was friend with Jackson F. Doe, When Jackson F. Doe would come to the office, she would invite me in her office, and introduce me to Jackson F. Doe. She said, "This is countryman, a highly educated." I wasn't convinced much at that time until, true story, folks. Then I can go on to the politics of things here tonight. Sometimes it's good to bring these things up so the young people among us don't just see us in the street. Hey, you know where we come from. At that time, even though I was working with the Ministry of Education, but education was not something that I liked much. All I wanted to do was, in the evening, get my money, go to EJ Raw. In the evening, get my money, go on some of the nightclub on Getty Street, or go to Roxy Cinema, or those are the. You see how poor I say Roxy Cinema. I'm not talking about that cinema in Singapore where people pay $5-10 to enter. No, I say Roxy Cinema. $1.75. That's a lot of money for me. But anyhow, Carton Carpet Hotel, underneath the hotel that they had used to have a club over there. That was a dancing club. So we were all involved in that. But the point is, when I started doing these things, the mom, in the morning when I go to work, I used to sleep a lot in the office. And she'll come, "Samson, you've been out again all night." "Yeah, Mom." You can't move up. You can't do anything better with your life doing like this. So I was the first kid there in the entire Ministry of Education, as far as I'm concerned, at that time, that had their own office on one of those wing between the offices. They built a little booth there for me, and she gave me a typewriter. And when I came to the state, I used to type more than 150, 160 words per minute, more than that when I came to the state. Now I can't do that. Forget it. I don't need to. But the point here is she made me want to learn more. So she made pass the information to her clerk to say, whatever information, whatever typing you guys do here, give the carbon copy to Samson and let him type it out for me. Well, of course, she wasn't going to sign it, but she wanted me to type. So she introduced me to Oliver Duncan. She introduced me to the minister proper of J. Blamore. She introduced me to Farad. He was assistant minister, smart guy, mathematician, smart guy. Introduced me to this guy. But it wasn't moving me, because people are so people, as far as I'm concerned, they don't move me. So luckily for me, Dr. Bole came to Liberia from the United States. So she employed Dr. Bole. So she brought Dr. Bole upstairs, asked Dr. Bole to come upstairs in her office. And I was sitting, out there in the hall there, typing my stuff, and I mind my own business. She called Samson. I said, "Yeah, Mom, come on here." I went in. Dr. Bole, light-skinned guy with afro. I mean, he ain't nothing crying about him. Nothing crying about him as far as I was concerned. The only PhD that I know I had PhD in Liberia from Crown Country, that was Dr. Trouble Bahai. So she asked me, "You know this man?" I said, "No, Mom." I said, "This is Dr. Bole, George Bole." I said, "Oh, hi, Dad. How you doing?" He said, "Fine." So she said, "It's a Crown man, by the way." And I laughed just like that. When she said she's a crime, I said, just like she said, "Why are you laughing?" I said, "Well, I'm going to crime. Oh, come looking like that. You come and bring another call, man." She said, No, I'm serious. I'm saying, "I'm crying." I said, "Oh, okay." So Dr. Bole, you know what he said? I said, "I'm speaking to you about this story right now. Hair behind my neck is, the emotional is getting there." But anyway, so Dr. Bole said, "From my what? Light-skinned guy like they were Afro looking like somebody you color from America." He said, "Fine." So I said, "Okay, let me push a little bit." So I said, "Fine." The guy said, "Oh, no, Puru." "Ah, you from Putu?" he says. So he and I just converted a few minutes. I came back outside. That was it. I went home that evening, told my girlfriend, no more club. Told a few of my friends, one of the young men that can be bothering me here, who can be disrespecting me, his father was just like a brother to me. Call him, call a few other people, they're all dead now. Call them and say, I'm not smoking cigarette anymore. I will not drink, go to club, no more club. I'm going to go back to school. And there start my education. It was because of Dr. Bullet. If it wasn't for that, forget it. But anyway, let's go on. But I tell you these things here to tell you how genuine some of us are. I mean, we take these things very seriously. So the question that I asked in the podcast tonight was, it wasn't a question, it's my own opinion. I believe Honorable Cummings and his ANC misread the Liberian upcoming election poll massively. Massively. And let's start that. But before we do that, let me play a little music here. Okay, all right. Let's start the program. Let's get it going. Let's get it going here. So here is why I'm saying that, folks. Here's my reason here. Do you remember this? Do you remember this? So what happened? Okay, here we go. Do you remember this? On Honorable Cummings, we have Unity Party, we have Liberty, we have ANC, and we have Benla Uris Party. Okay. Honorable Cummings, when these people are together, what I just showed, what I'm showing you right now, this was the same type of unity that brought Honorable Dallas Dillon to power. It's the same stuff here. And every one of us, those of us that were supporting this unity process here, truly believe that Dr. Weir and the CDC were in serious problem if the election was to be held at that time. The unity process was so unique and so good to the point that people, even within this unity group themselves, some of the political party were jockeying for position. And in the process of that, they decided to dig a little bit deeper in trying. They were just like a crab that were trying to crab over one, pulling one another down. When they realized that they have defeated the mighty coalition in their backyard, every one of them became invisible. They believe that nothing can stop them at this time. And as a result, they decided to bring in a little bit disunity among themselves. And I'm saying to myself tonight, because I'm on the show with Mr. So and Mr. George, arguing with them, putting my hand up here, demanding that Cummings go second to BOAKAI, demanding months in, months out that Cummings go second to BOAKAI. My argument at the time, and I think it still holds true, was that Cummings has, of all of them, Ambassador BOAKAI has the experience, but Cummings' leadership skill is surpassed all of them combined. Cummings has such a good leadership skill that I believe that even if he was the second to Ambassador BOAKAI, that nobody was going to stop him. I also believe at the time, and I still do, That Kumi himself told us that he was not connected. The fact that he's been away from Liberia that long and has not done something in terms of political involvement, meaningful, that will attract the Liberian attention at that time, put Kumi in a position of not standing by himself. He was not quite on board with that. I made that argument. I fought with intellectually now. Fought with Mr. Soul, fought with Mr. George. The same argument. And even Mr. Kumi came out here and we're asking the same question. And he said, why would you want to get into these kinds of political arena and say you're only going to run campaign to be second? Okay. That when he made that statement, I'm okay. Yes. Perhaps if you were to be asked by Ambassador BOAKAI, perhaps you will agree. But then the very first sign that I saw, that I felt that these people were not going to be able to work together, was when they were getting ready to make Ambassador BOAKAI some kind of coronation or whatever it is, but they invited Cummings. Because remember now, my sister Nyamli was not going to run. She was not the Liberty Party was not putting forward anybody. Bernard Europe Party was not putting forward anybody. So it was only Unity and ANC. Okay, if you're going to crown Unity Party Ambassador BOAKAI to be the whatever it is that you guys want, why would you invite Cummings to witness that, to be part of that? I thought at the time, and I argued that was a form of disrespect, and it's unacceptable. Unless you guys have gone to, they have an elaborate process set up. It was this thing was bound to fail from the beginning, but some of us didn't recognize that. Alfonso so recognized that. He said, with the kinds of document that I'm looking at, Samson, it's not going to work. And I'm saying, no, forget it. That's your business. You stay on your side. We get it. We'll make it work. They have a system set up where they will go in for voter to recognize who has the most popularity. Well, all kinds of elaborate systems set up to be able to bring up the standard barrier. So many corner turn, and these people they fell with him themselves. This thing. First, it was my sister Nyamli became the chief of the collaborating political party. Then they turned it over to Cummings. And then when Cummings' time came, they decided, including my own sister, they decided to put sand in Cummings' Gary. And the brouhaha started. All along, I was hoping that Cummings would say, you know what? This is about Liberia. They can say whatever they want to say about me. At this age and at this point in my career, I know who I am. My friends know who I am. My family knows who I am. Nobody would define me at this time. And I thought Cummings was going to go ahead, swallow his pride, and stay with them. Because if Cummings were to stay, even though they didn't push him out, it wasn't going to work. I understand that. But I'm saying from the beginning, Cummings should I just say, okay, form it and have that meeting right away. Let's make Ambassador BOAKAI the standard bearer. I go second. Nobody was going to deny Cummings at that time. The people don't have money. Cummings has the money. So most likely they were going to accept Cummings as a second to Ambassador BOAKAI, because Ambassador BOAKAI told us, I've been vice president. I'm not going to be vice president anymore. So I'm saying, and at the time, my comment to Cummings was, This particular issue, Cummings should just say, okay, and demonstrate to the Liberian people how good you are. But nobody was listening to me. Nobody was listening to me. At the end, Cummings went his way. Ambassador BOAKAI went his way. And the reason why I'm doing this show tonight, specifically on this subject matter, because I spent hours on the sister network, Spoon TV tonight, listening to the vice presidential nominee, Senator Coon. And it's not that it's sad. Senator Coon has the ability to lead. But before this is all over, Senator Coon will be president of the Republic of Liberia. Not by death, with Ambassador BOAKAI, far from it. God will protect the old man. He will be fine. But most likely, his wife going to say, maybe after their first turn, the wife will say, "Let go retire." Ambassador BOAKAI going to retire. And by that time, Coon that I'm looking at most likely has a good leadership ability as well. This is what I was saying. And please, if I'm not making sense, please say so. Don't be bashful. Just tell me, say, Mr. Toh, you're not making no sense tonight. That's okay. Not every night that I come here, I expect to make sense. That's okay. But let me express myself freely. This is what I wanted Cummings to do. Because every Liberian that are in their right mind knows very well, not by death, but Ambassador BOAKAI, most likely 98 to 99% will not seek re-election. No way. After he bagged this in his bag as a trophy, that's it. All he has to do is steady this ship, because he has the ability to steady the ship. And the comment and the conversation that I was leading at the time, even though there was some time that I was angry with them, I felt what happened, what they did to Cummings was unacceptable. I felt Cummings trusted them, and they decided to betray his trust. I still believe that. But I was also arguing that Cummings should put Liberia first. In fact, at one time here I had my show. That many Liberian pin their hopes and aspirations on these people, and they can't even hold together. This is the part that is a little bit depressing. So in the last few days, you've been hearing from sources here and there, Cummings asking former President Salif to intervene. They're trying to beg Yumdi saying no, blah, blah, all kinds of stuff. Whereas, if you listen to Spoon tonight, Senator Coon, whenever he make a statement, he always making reference to Ambassador BOAKAI. As to telling us that Ambassador BOAKAI is leading, even though he's speaking now, but Ambassador BOAKAI is leading. Do you look and say, when was the last time you heard Ambassador BOAKAI speaking, my viewer? This is the position I wanted Cummings to be in. Because before the election, if Cummings had taken this position, before the election, Liberian would have recognized the leadership ability, the true leadership ability in Cummings. And nobody was going to question. Nobody. The international community would have recognized Cummings' leadership abilities better. In fact, the Coca-Cola people are going to say, and we told you, the man is very good. And those of I was around Cummings here for what? Maybe 6-7 hours. And through his interaction, He's very, very articulate. That's no question asked. But he gets his point across freely. And he makes some good point politically. He has plan that will be able to move Liberia forward. Only in the diaspora that people will be able to understand quickly what Kumi is doing and what Kumi is about. Back home, they don't see it. They don't understand it. These people are just coming from Chikisu voting. These people are just coming from Pusawa, Beko Red voting. These people are just coming from Pusawa, couple Pusawa voting. They're still in that mode. Where if you buy baby top for pregnant woman, the town will vote for you. That's the kind of mentality that is still there. And here comes Kumi. We're playing for infrastructure, for these people to be relieved of their suffering. Plan, genuine plan that he can explain. But they are not. Here in the diaspora, Kumi can sit here with you. When he lecture you, you're subdued. When he lecture you, you're finished. But in Liberia, they're not there yet. And I thought, my goodness, with this kinds of man, with this kinds of mindset, if he would just go have an opening right now, the opening was there. Go on a name BOAKAI. Let the old man serve six-year term. You're still young. God has given you good health. God is blessing you. You serve 6 years on the old man. When the old man turned, he's not going to seek re-election. But by that time, you would have been recognized. In fact, I would predict, and I've been predicting that, and I'll be ridiculous about that, to say by the time the first 2 years over, people will consider Kumi the de facto president of the Republic of Liberia. But the ANC refused to latch on that. They decided they were going to pay attention to how Costa was describing Kumi. Yeah, he's a human being. I get angry to myself. But I thought, put Liberia above. When you guys were together, you give Dr. Weah and CDC slacking, flocking, whooping, 25 on the latches, put them on the bench, stretch them out. 25, you have whooped them and brought the light in. But where are we? Where are we, folks? Where are we? We're nowhere. For JNB and his people, they're happy. Kun's story, it's a Liberian story. And Kun and JNB, when they're campaigning, CDC and President Weah, they're in trouble. And the way CDC like to put their foot in their mouths, they're in trouble. They're in serious trouble. You heard where what's his name? The sanction former Minister of State said that there are certain people in the government that are not helping to alleviate some of the suffering. Oh, now he recognizes there's suffering in the country. And are some of the ministers supposed to do whatever they do when they get their money? They're supposed to put some money aside and help the suffering masses. And so, if President, he said, if go there, the wordings are there. He said, if President Weah was re-elected, that some of these government officials will be fired. CDC is in trouble. I listened to Kun tonight. He was not aggressive. He was polite, but he was firm in his pronouncement. And folks, they made the announcement for almost 2 weeks now, or going to 2 weeks. You know, Liberian, if there was some kind of bad thing on about Kuntana Day, ever since CDC would have been parading it all over. But what we getting? Tape recording exchange between here and who they what and who they what. Those are the kind of things that are coming along with CDC. So right now, it's just sad. You know, here in the United States, similar situation like that happened back in the days. I believe it was the second term of Barack Obama, and Republican Party was looking for somebody, and they started driving to Chris Christie. I think it was the second term. They wanted Chris Christie to go. No, I'm not ready yet. You know, the kinds of stuff. If you're not ready, you put yourself in there, you're bound to burn out. People begging you that we will support you by all means. Any amount of money you want, we'll give you. He said you are not ready. When you are ready, the Republican Party are not ready either. It's the same thing here. We've seen it before. We've seen this thing play out before. So the point here, folks, before I bring in my send a link to my guys here who's gonna help me, and maybe some of them will say, no, we're not agree with you on this Monday afternoon. I'm working hard. Hopefully tomorrow after this, I will contact President Kesseley, and hopefully you agree to appear here tomorrow. I hope, and so that perhaps you'll be dancing here again. Okay. But this is just very, very bad for ANC. Well, I will not hide it. Bad for ANC. And then you say, oh, but you're JMB. No, I'm an admirer. They don't know me. I don't know them. If you go to any of the JMB people right now, the only person perhaps who will say, yeah, maybe what's his name, Lobo, because he and I have talked 1 or 2 times. That's it. And you say, when you say Samson, you say, who? Samson. Yeah, that's it. But none of the people know me. They don't know me. I don't know them. I just admire JMB. And the reason why I admire him, because I think he have the experience to stabilize. He will not be able to put stop to any corruption coming their way. Which is going to happen? Cummings would have done that. I don't see Ambassador BOAKAI stopping any of the young people that will come in and try to put in the company projects and stuff that they try to steal money. I don't see him stopping them. He himself might not be able to. I mean, he might not. He's not going to steal. That's not what I'm saying. But the people around him, just like what's happening in this administration, the same thing going to happen. Now, if Cummings was to be the vice president with his knowledge of leadership, he will make sure these things don't happen. Now, I'm not too sure how much of that Cohn going to be able to stop, because Cohn, it seemed to me, from listening to him tonight, it seemed to me that his thing is private sector. Private sector. So if it is private sector on Ambassador BOAKAI, abuse, corrupt behavior will come. I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to stop that. But what I do like about this young man, Cohn, also, is that he continued to insist that he's his own man. If you try to link him with Prince Johnson, you're fooling yourself. I think this young man is capable of pushing back against Prince Johnson. Now, here's what I predict that's going to happen. Prince Johnson now, knowing that he doesn't want to get wrapped into this thing here until it's all over, until they're successful. So he's going to come now and make some ridiculous statement to attack Cohn, and Cohn and BOAKAI will now try to push him away. And it's a trick. Well, I'm not even going to buy that if it happens. But most likely something like that will happen. Let me send this thing out to these guys. But folks, this is where I'm going with my stuff tonight. Okay. And so, but Ambassador Barker standing good. There's no question asked. Now, the Yumbly factor. Let me address that a little bit as well. The Yumbly factor. Just give me one minute here. I'm trying to put things together. The Yumbly factor is a very interesting one as well. The Yumbly factor, folks, because I was one of those that were on here the other day to say that Yumbly, first thing I say Yumbly was the first thing was from my selfish position. Okay, from my selfish standpoint, I say if Yumbly was to be asked by Mr. Cummings, that Yumbly should take it, because knowing fully well that they most likely might not win, but that she can use that opportunity to reintroduce herself to the entire population of Liberia. And 2 days later, as usual, I'm a liberal. I'm involved in moving. I'm not studying. So I find out later on that no, that most likely might not be a good thing to do. So I also suggested that she should say no and go back to Ambassador BOAKAI and just play your role. Ambassador BOAKAI, every one of us know your quality, the quality you have, but stay there. But I said to I was saying to Yumbly that you're one of those young lady that have the potential, that you're a good leader, So and just like here in America, a strong female, especially in our Black community, a strong female. Most of the men, the intelligent men, then they run away from you. They want pushover. Well, those days are over. My sister is not a pushover. She's highly educated, smart, a good leader. She's not mama, that kind of way from the village or something like that. No. So I told you, people young, especially in this man-dominated arena of politics from Liberia, and them knowing us, will push back. The woman says she woman, she can't even. No, forget woman business. If woman's strong and have the ability to lead, she must lead. You listen, man, then you ain't able to do it. You move from there, let the woman take it. I say so. So I just sent it, Mr. George, Mr. Sissy, Goya, if you guys are listening, I just sent you guys some stuff here. So if you want to join me here, the opportunity is there. But anyhow, let me go on. So the issue with Yumbly, and I for some reason I'm saying that perhaps the way the whole thing went about, and I think Senator Cohn himself made reference of it today. He didn't go deep into it. All he could say is that their feeling was hurt, and if you are in the same position, his feeling would be hurt as well. He said, this is what he said, if you can listen to it on Spoon again, that he was telling them, you guys come and let's run this thing up, because you started, I just joined your mid-roll, and which is true. These people were with Ambassador BOAKAI struggling to make this thing happen. But of course, he has the right to pick whoever he wants to pick, who he'll be comfortable with. Okay? So that's fine. So I'm saying to Senator Yumbly, you're Senator of Grand Bassa County, you're a strong woman, and the people of Grand Bassa County loved you. There's no question asked. Stay with Ambassador BOAKAI. Don't go back to Cummings. Because if you do, even if most ability will come and make you and say, yeah, you go back to be a political leader, and they give the party back to you, what to say that he won't do it again? You're not going to drive him out of the party. He's not going to relinquish everything to say, I'm nobody, I'm not a member of the party anymore. He will always have something. So if anything goes wrong, they can pull the rug up from underneath you again. So I would say, don't even touch that. Don't even touch that. So let's go on. Let's go on. Okay. So the point again, I think Cummings and his people didn't see this thing coming. They didn't. And as a result, the ANC, I believe, most likely in a regretting more right now. Okay. I believe that in a regretting more right now because they should have listened to Samson too. You know, I've always said this, and I will say again on a very serious note. I've been around here for a while. When I came here, 19 we, when we Eula were here and Deb, attended the NIMA Association here. Is one of the strong organization here in the United States from Liberia. And like I've always, these people are highly educated, very smart. When they get together, because I attended one of their conventions over there in Canton, Ohio, by 19 we. I'm not going to say when, but anyhow. But when they get together, social book, I say social book. But the point here is this: we're seeing many type of leadership. Some leader comes and want to dominate, and they don't last long. Some leader come and they don't want to cooperate with the other leadership. This is an organization. Some leader will come in and instead they want their personality to dominate the entire membership personality with respect to the organization. It's not going to happen. People will push back. People will push back. And I've seen that happen in my own JITA community. People push back on that. I'll give you an example. So we had in the JITA community, Honorable Timmons Collins was then the president. And some of his fierce critics, my own friend, Babla, Alfonso Babla, some of the fierce critics of Timmons Collins. About membership, this. So Timmons Collins, a smart politician, as young, smart politician as he was. When the opportunity presented itself to him, the space open, he went and brought Babla first cousin, another smart young man too, very smart, very intelligent, brought him in as membership chairman. What Babla was saying now. Every time I see you, I can be teasing him, man. Don't be teasing him, but I gotta yeah. That was the end. That was the end of the critics. But those are kinds of stuff as a politician, you engage in these kinds of things to help you move one point to another, from one point to another. And I thought this is what ANC failed miserably. ANC and Honorable Cummings, from my perspective, have failed miserably. Mr. Judge, if you can turn the camera, here we go. Put your thumb up if you're ready for me to bring you in here. So I still say, okay, he's ready. Let me bring him in. Let me bring in Mr. Josh. Mr. Josh, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Toh. How you doing?
I'm here running my mouth as usual, with no fear of favoritism whatsoever. I can't speculate. And I hope that you can disabuse me, disagree with me, and perhaps make me to eat crow here tonight. I'm ready for that. No, very seriously, my comment is that I think ANC and Mr. Honorable Cummings perhaps misread the Liberian political terrain by not accepting some of us our proposal of him as good as he is, if he can go second to the old man. Because most likely the old man, our father, will most likely will not go second, will not seek re-election. I think Ambassador BOAKAI will only be there for 6 years. And I've also seen that in fact, because of his strong leadership ability that I know he has, Cummings that is, that within 2 years period, after they win the election, people will start believing that Cummings is the de facto president, because Cummings most likely will be representing Liberia on many places. And I thought by them not recognizing that, it was a misstep. What say you?
They're wrong.
Okay. Why is that?
Let me ask you something too, if I can. Which part of the world you heard that someone going to ask someone to be the running mate?
No.
Joseph BOAKAI from the Unity Party. Did anybody from Joseph BOAKAI camp ever told you that Honorable BOAKAI asked Cummings to be his running mate? Have you heard that rumor anywhere?
No.
The Liberian people that were calling on the phone, we heard that they want JMB and Cummings. Cummings should go as VP. But do you expect Cummings to go ask Honorable BOAKAI that I want to be a VP? You don't think that be over ambitions or even respect for yourself? Cummings asked Joseph BOAKAI. Say, oh man, I'm saying you accept this country well. If you can let somebody handle be VP to me, I won't mind working with them. That are the proposals, according to the people that are coming in over Joseph BOAKAI. Up to this time, they never got a response from old man BOAKAI. So how can you go now and tell me I won't be VP? That point of fact, I mean, the story is all.
Yeah, but Mr. Josh.
No, I'm asking you, how can you go to this man and say I won't be a VP?
No.
When you gave me a proposal,
no,
you not bring a counter proposal back to you. He did not respond to you.
They shouldn't even have gotten to this point. When they first started, Mr. George, when they first started, the point that I'm making, when they first started this whole collaboration political party business, I think from the very beginning, it should be after Cummings have tried the first time, and it didn't happen. Cummings and his people, they know why it didn't happen. It's not because Cummings was not spending money, or it's not because Cummings didn't have money, or it's not because Cummings is not a Liberian, but Cummings was not connected. They know that. So the point was, why were you coming to join Ambassador BOAKAI, who you know very well have told us even before the collaboration political party came together that he was never going to go second to anybody? So why will you come to join him, knowing full well that he's not going to go second to you? So I thought from the very beginning, Cummings should have recognized, and I feel bad to say this here, but I will be truthful here tonight. Cummings should have recognized the age factor in this whole thing here. And the fact that JMB and the other people don't have money. They don't have money. Cummings has the money.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, well, I do. I can tell you that they don't have money. If they have money, watch and see. Now, Jeremiah Coon going to be flipping most of the bill. Okay, JMB and his people, they don't have money. How many dollars they raised here when he came here the last time? They don't have money. They're just like me. They don't have money. But the point here is this: besides Cummings money, Cummings, you see, like I said, I play football. So sometimes I play front bike. Sometimes I play bike. I don't like it much because I tend to be too physical. So I stay in the front. But the point here, when I go because I use both legs. I used to use both legs. I can't even kick lamb anymore. But the point here is when I stay on the right hand side and I feel this guy, the defender over there, I go hard at him. I go soft. I try to dribble him, but he's all tight. I switch. I go to the left because I can use both legs. And if it's not working, I come to the middle. Okay, those three positions, I keep going back and forth like that until I find my niche. Now, on this is particularly with Cummings, I felt that Cummings won the first time. And when you go into these things, you should be able to statistically have records of what happened. Why did you not win? It's not like you're not a Liberian. So Cummings has been as intellectual as he is. And people around Cummings at the time, they're also intellectual. So I felt within myself that these people at this time, they know exactly what happened, and that's why they're coming with Ambassador BOAKAI. So for me to suggest to you guys 2 years ago, okay, which I was all out here, I wasn't giving you and Mr. So chance to talk about it. I say, yeah, that's what I want, that's what I think, and all of your business, all that kind of stuff. But on a very serious note, why would you want to join someone who have already told you before even joining that he's not going to go second because you have done that already? And you also, Cummings, know very well that this may have served second to President Salif. What make you think now that he want to serve second again to you? So what sense does that make? So you either stay out, don't join, but once you agree to join, many Liberians believe Cummings was going to go second.
Now, I come back again. When they were formulating the CPP, all these parties went in. Oman Parker said it. But you couldn't say because you're going in. The question I come back to you people. Did BOAKAI, after the founding speaker, call Cummings and say, look, you're my friend or my son. I have served 2 terms between you and myself. There's no way I can be VP.
Mr. George.
So hold on. So you were talking again. So
all right, I'm sorry.
I will ask you that you run with me. But Honorable BOAKAI, from all the indications, he never did none of these things. He never. They decided to go into the race. They said, okay, we'll follow the guidelines, these principles, I said, we have followed it. Getting to the middle, they realized, they said, oh no, my brother started to torpedo the whole thing, Costa. They came with this, delegate vote of what black voting. They started putting in the air. That they said, oh no, we can't go to convention. Come here about the delegates. You see there? That when the trouble started shaking because they said, nah, this man got money, he will influence the delegate. Even our own delegate, he will buy them. All that was going on, it broke apart. The Liberia people was still hearing Cummings, BOAKAI. The question I continue to pose back to you. When last did you ever heard that BOAKAI call Cummings and say, look, you know what happened?
Mr. George, Mr. George, I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
Hold on now. I said, but I understand what you're saying. But here's the issue here. We're speaking about Liberia.
Yeah.
Where culture in Liberia dictates most of the moving and shaking in Liberia, most of the time. So the question you're asking is right. Yes, Ambassador BOAKAI perhaps should have done that. But here's my point. Ambassador BOAKAI most likely, and I'm just assuming, I don't know these people, they don't know me. So there's no conversation, they don't even know my number. When I go to Liberia, the only time I pass by Ambassador BOAKAI's son nightclub or pass by Ambassador BOAKAI house going the other way, and stuff like that. That's it. That's the only way. That's it. When people will always point out, oh, that's from a VP house there. That's the only thing that I know. But the point here is this. Before this whole collaborating political party business came about, Ambassador BOAKAI made it clear, crystal clear.
Oh, so
hold on now.
So in other words, this collaboration he said you're going into was not genuine.
No, you see, you can't do that.
No,
you
no,
cannot
no.
say that.
Because you
No,
continue
no,
to take
no,
back to the
no,
same
no,
place.
no, no.
You
He
taking it
didn't.
back to the same
He
place.
has not deviated. He has not deviated from his plan.
But
What
if
I'm,
he had that, then why went into collaboration?
but let me land now. If I finish my statement, perhaps you will understand it. Okay. So from day one, before they even started the whole process, he said, "I have gone honor Madam Sally as a VP. I no longer going to go honor nobody, honor no circumstance that I will go honor nobody as a VP in this country no more." He said that. Now, when they came together with that statement made clear to everybody, I believe that Ambassador BOAKAI was under the impression that he has already told everyone. So any other person that going to come and join me, your purpose of joining me is to go second. Simple. That's it. Now, the crucial part of it is this. If I was in this kind of position, then the wording and the formulation and all of the documents that they put together, the process would have been different. I think Cummings should have just started from day one. When ANC is here, excuse me, ANC is here. I'm standard bearer of ANC, but at this time, we're not going to put in any candidate. We're here. Ambassador BOAKAI going to be our standard bearer. But every one of these people that came together, the Senator Yumley, the Dallas Dillon, the Bernard Ure, all of those people, the Costa, every one of them, they knew very well that Cummings go second, no argument. That's all they wanted from Cummings. Cummings to go second, no argument.
This thing become repetitive. You continue to repeat yourself this and that. The question I asked you, you're not answering those questions.
What is your question?
I'm asking you. BOAKAI said it. That's one thing. Going together, putting something on the paper, it was a different thing. I come back to you. At that time, because you continue to talk about tradition, and you don't do the thing of tradition. I know why you continue to talk about this thing, tradition, and you don't do the thing. You're going to do something that suits people, then you talk about tradition. If you want to go in the village, those people, the other are in town, they will select certain people, they say, come sit down, or they matter of talking so you can listen. What they want, because they want that person now to start, they preparing that person now to take a position. That person will go to the chief and say, I want to listen to the matter. No, the chief or the other sent for you. They say, sit down here. Listen to what we're seeing here. That is the tradition I know.
Okay. Let me ask you this then.
So that is so when you talk about tradition, I don't know.
Okay,
when
so let me
go to the chief and say, oh chief, I want to work with you. The chief always select people that they want them to work with him. Even the other, they will say, you see that young man, you call him. Okay. You see that young guy,
let me give this man a message. Opa Smith, Opa, if you get this message after my show, please call me. I need to talk to you quick. But anyway, let me ask you this, and I'm talking to Opa Smith. If you get this message after my show, please call me tonight or call me tomorrow. I need to talk to you. But let me ask you this, Mr. George. So you agree that Ambassador BOAKAI made that statement clear?
Yeah.
From day one?
Yeah.
Okay.
He said it, but we're not on people.
Mr. George, why will you guys do that? You see, this is what we are. Okay, all right, I agree. Okay, so you're saying you're telling. Okay, so let me ask you now. Yeah. Since you're making it look a little bit different here, or a little bit complicated. Well, I'm not an educated person, so educated than me, that's fine. But let me ask you this. So, Ambassador, we agree. Ambassador BOAKAI made that statement.
Yeah.
So the fact that it was not on paper, so Cummings joining him, then perhaps the statement he made no longer relevant than what is on paper now?
The statement he said he was not going to go as VP. In fact, that time that statement had not even come up. Going as VP, that statement had never came, it had not come at that time. When they were formulating the CPP, they said everybody was equal going in. Everybody was equal. When the convention started coming in, that when Omar BOAKAI saying that I had gone, I said 2 times, I cannot serve as VP to anybody.
Okay. All right. Let's forget. Okay, I get that. All right. Let me ask. Let's just have the conversation between two of us.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that Ambassador BOAKAI have gone VP before,
yeah,
were you guys expecting him to accept VP position again, even if the organization itself voted for him to be VP? You think he were going to accept it?
No, let me say this.
No. It's a question.
You ask a question.
But why you want to say a statement with a question?
No, I'm not answering. I said just hold on. I will answer your question.
All right.
I'm sitting down here in my reference mind. I don't know when it would have been good for VP to serve as vice president again. It was not there. But what I'm saying, you calling the stabilizer, what did he do to convince those other people? The communists, the Costa, the Benin, what did he do to say, okay, you know what happened? We are come together. But look at my position. With all due respect, I would not be able to serve as vice president for any of you. What I want, I can pick one of you people to work with me as a VP. Did he do that? He didn't do that.
Okay.
Let me go one further. Because Benin had taken himself, he said, Benin said, I don't want to be VP. The Liberty Party said they were not putting no presidential candidate. So the conversation it should have been between Benin, Alexander Cummings, and BOAKAI. So why didn't Omar BOAKAI say, you know what happened, Mr. Cummings? I served as VP 2 years for this country, 2 terms. So there's no way, with all due respect, I won't be able to run as VP to anybody again. But I'm asking you, as a younger of my son, to work with me so we can move the train. That's what the stabilizer should have done. And if he does so, if Mr. Cummings refuses, then we say, this man too ambitious. But in a other way around, it was Mr. Cummings who went to him and said, we employ your services, but I will ask you to let somebody here from your party that you try to get him to run with me as a VP. He did not even respond to that. So the question continues to ask, this, because this position, we don't see people, even if you have the ambition, even you want the job, you cannot go to the and say, I want to be vice president.
Mr. Josh.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you, but of course I'm a liberal anyhow. The argument holds no water.
That's your belief.
No water whatsoever. Because here's the reason I'm saying that. You have the right and you're entitled to that. But here's what I'm saying. First thing is this. Nobody in their right mind, politically that is, that will want to join this team and hoping that Ambassador BOAKAI will go second to that person.
Samson too, will come back again.
No. Hold on. Let me finish. Because Ambassador, let's forget the age. And so, Ambassador BOAKAI, I mean, let's be fair here. Ambassador BOAKAI, these are politicians. And the covenant price on this is the presidency. It's the highest. And every one of them, that's what they want. But if you're going to come together as a political party opposition, and then in the room of gathering, who has done this or who has come close to this position before, it will be Ambassador BOAKAI. Okay, let's do the elimination. Based on that fact alone, who has the experience in
Don't tell me about
similar,
experience, man.
Mr. George, I'm trying to
No,
let me
don't tell me about experience.
no, let me, you don't have to. Yeah, you can do that. You can put your,
You can tell me something else, but not experience.
no, but I have to. You can't. You see, this is what you and Mr. Sawyer will do with your conservative idea. Mr. The liberal will not say what he wanted to say. He will not tell you, Mr. George. This is free. We're not in Liberia. But this is specifically, I'm not in Bon County, where they can put, they got Salah gay those days. And I don't know why I hear for a big, gay.
Look, they had one to Carisbro.
Yeah. Oh, Carisbro gay was bad. Carisbro gay, everybody got out of that bus. We the children, everybody get out of the bus. And they think about that gate, because by the time you get to Carisbro, you've been sitting by the engine, no buses, no Renault buses, had no engine in the front. You've been sitting, the gas, you've been spending the gas, been throwing all. Yeah, man. And then when they put your oil again, you start throwing oil again. That thing is about it. But anyway, let me make it.
And the story our people talk about Carisbro was always horrible.
Yeah. Carisbro was bad. It was bad. That two gates in from Toton to Morea, for me, there were two gates. One is in Groy in Nima County, and the other, because Groy owned, this is where they put everybody down and ask them for hard tax receipt. If you didn't get a receipt for the $10, you're not going passing, you're going back to ground. You gotta go get a receipt before you go through. So before everybody leave Toton, everybody got a receipt. Like my mom would get her receipt, $10 receipt and stuff like that. But anyway, let me go back there. So nobody in their right mind that would say that. Now, when you put everybody in the room, the Benedict Ure, the Yomdi Kanga, the Ambassador BOAKAI, the Armo Cummings, if you put those people in the room, say, okay, we're all here. Who has come close to the presidency before? It'll be Ambassador BOAKAI, who served under President Salif. Okay. The fact that he served under President Salif, that's an experience that none of these people that I just talked about have.
Of course.
They don't have it. Okay. So now we say, okay, let's move on to the next level. Who's supposed to now be who all want to be vice president? You think Ambassador BOAKAI will put a hand up again and say, yeah, I want to be vice president for a second term? No. That's not going to happen. No. So they just from that simple fact, knowing Cummings, you see, this is where this Cummings business can get to me. Because at this age, Cummings knows who he is. Cummings knows exactly who he is. None of us will be able to define him and be that. No, he knows who he is. There's nobody that can define him. Cummings ran for the presidency before. He didn't win. He's coming in again. But knowing fully well, as I stated before, they should have had some sort of information available to him. Those that were supporting him were not, hopefully they were not just eating his money. They should have done some analysis. Why did he not win?
They did analysis.
And bring that paper to him.
They did.
And that paper should be his guide.
Cummings has the data. He believes in data very much.
So knowing fully well you have the data, what makes you think now that what have you done that have changed or that will change the data in your favor? None. The main reason is not because Cummings is not experienced. I mean, he doesn't have the leadership ability, but because Cummings was never connected, and he still is not connected. That is the flaw. That's it.
Well,
nothing else.
But you know, this, I don't want to do anything too much. I don't got to move to those ones. I continue to come back to the same thing. All what you are saying is something that you still beating around the bush. Vice President BOAKAI said 210. Granted, they said they were going to collaboration. Yes, they agreed. These are the processes. The question I continue to ask people, Benedict Ure said he was not interested. Liberty parties were not putting a VP. So the thing was between Cummings or anyway, Turner, he and BOAKAI. The question is, BOAKAI had reached that point. At what point in time He said, Cummings, it's only you and myself. All the other people are supporting us. I have said 2 terms. Looking at this, one of the factors involved, I have said 2 terms. I can't go as VP to anybody right now. But I'm asking you, between you and myself, let me take you as a VP so we can run together. This question nobody has answered.
Okay, but let's flip the
Nothing
coin.
happened. So
Let's flip the coin.
Listen.
Let's flip the coin.
Now listen.
You're saying now.
The question I continue to tell people are making mistakes.
Okay, you're saying now.
People wonder Mr. Cummings to go and ask.
No. But let's flip the coin. Let's flip the coin. So what you're saying there, what Ambassador BOAKAI perhaps should have done, that means putting Liberian first. Agree, and not himself. Agree. By him bringing that topic to Cummings, agree to have that kind of discussion. That means you're putting the country first. Okay. Granted, that didn't happen. What stopped Cummings from approaching Ambassador BOAKAI? Said, no, hold on now, don't rush it. To say, Ambassador, I know, thank you very much, but the other 2 parties, they said they're not going to put Kennedy. ANC is putting Kennedy. How do we get this thing resolved? Does that conversation happen?
It happened. Listen, Cummings said, they asked Omen BOAKAI, hey, you have served this country. Now I think it's time for you to retire. Well, take someone from your party, hold that hand, and give it to us.
But you see, that's very condescending. If what you say is true, then that's very condescending.
No, it's not condescending.
It is.
No,
the man has the man.
No. Samson told
that Cummings would make the man retire. The man
Samson told it was not condescending. It was not something they went and just talking in public. They call him. This is what we asked him to do. It was not something like rule or they asked him.
Okay, and he said
he did not respond.
So what was the next step?
He didn't do anything. He didn't say anything.
So what was the next step for Cummings?
So what now? You as a sound-minded person, your instinct will tell you that something is wrong. You cannot go more than that because what the people expected was for Omen BOAKAI to come back with a counter proposal to say, hey, you know what happened? I get what you say. I understand it. But this is what I want you to do for me. I want to take you as a VP. He didn't come up with no kind of proposal. So how now you want?
Well, but at that point, knowing this old man, the little that I know, I've read about him, and the little video that I've seen, I think he's very vindictive. That I can say. So knowing full well what I believe is being a vindictive person, and maybe he felt the Cummings was being condescending, and the fact that Cummings was even asked, how dare this young man will ask me to retire? What business is for me? I don't even want to talk to him. If the question is beneath me, and I don't intend to reply. So maybe he moved that. So this thing was not going to work. It was, so why even waste their time and waste the Liberian people time?
So you see that. So this narrative people want to create, they were all saying, "Oh, Cummings should go as VP," but in no situation, especially at that level, that you will go to say, you run as a president, I won't be VP to you. The first incident in politics, that man will say, hey, this man want power. This man want power. It will never happen like that. Okay? This is not a cabinet minister job. What is it? The man going to beg the president to give him a job because the president can fire him. But VP, you can't fire you. It's not just easy. So these were the things that sometimes we're talking and we don't want to hold both sides responsible.
Well,
Omen BOAKAI, at no point in time that he ever had a meeting with Cummings and said, look, you know what happened? Okay, we are here, all the noise, this and that. Forget it. You and I have the same goal, but we want to get that.
So why don't you ANC people, instead of even trying to go get involved, why don't you just retire the jersey and get behind Ambassador BOAKAI and Senator Kuhn, and let's just have two political parties in this ANC, CDC and
Go ahead.
I said instead of wasting time and money, don't even get involved anymore. Just go ahead and assume the election is between Ambassador BOAKAI and President Weah, and then you throw your weight behind whoever you want to throw your weight behind.
No,
As the ANC bloc.
That's a disrespect to us. So we'll go to the election and the Liberian people make that decision. Why should we just get out and say we're throwing
because
we have developed
basically I just want this thing to be first round. Because if ANC were to come out now and say, and what I'm saying is ridiculous, I know that, but if ANC were to come out right now and say, you know, we're not even gonna go through the election, we're throwing our weight behind Ambassador BOAKAI, game's over, CDC's over, done.
No, we'll not be able to do that
because if you don't do that, and if you don't do that and go into the election, then the second round, by the time the second round comes around, President Weah and CDC will have found a 14. Whatever slip they might have, they'll quickly recover, and they're gonna give the opposition a whooping of their life.
Well, if you want to support the CDC, you can support the CDC. That's why you do everything. One day Joseph BOAKAI, one day CDC, one day ANC. So you can go there.
It's not about you. This is what you and Mr. So ready to do. You're not gonna make it about me tonight. ANC, you're in trouble. That we all know. You're in trouble, serious trouble. Okay. And you need to really. I feel bad because what would if Honorable Cummings does not become president of the Republic of Liberia? It's a missed opportunity for all of us.
That we can. It's what the Liberian people want.
So let me put it up.
If they say Mr. Cummings, they don't want Cummings. Perfect.
I mean, yeah. Let me pull the number. Then he can call me by, please. Okay. So let me pull the number up, Mr. Josh. Because I think at this time, wow, I didn't know that was that far.
No, almost hitting the 2-hour mark.
Yeah. Okay. Again, folks, Samson told Liberian Public Road, give me a call. 916-533-20. Let me just hold on. IE number 9, give me a chance. Hold on. In fact, IE number 9, I don't even want to talk to you tonight, sir. IE number 9, I don't want to talk to you tonight because I ain't a business out there. I ain't a business we're talking about. We're talking again, folks. Samson told Liberian Public, give me a call. Give me a call. Now everything is connected. Let me. Hello, IE number 9. How you doing? Can you hear me? Yeah, IE number 9. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
But that ain't your business. What you calling for? That when I talk about your business, you stay out of your business.
No, I still got to partake. I enjoy. You don't have to put your number on for me because I already have it. You and Mr. So. But anyways, let me just contribute. I enjoy your kumbaya. ANC and Unity Party. I enjoy it. And especially you guys in the Unity Party, you guys are so optimistic that because VP BOAKAI picked or Jeremiah Cone, so he's gonna win the election. But I got one question for you though, Mr.
Yeah,
Tone.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I got one question for you.
Go ahead.
My question is, so what made you to think now, Mr. BOAKAI is a rescue for Liberia? After Mr. BOAKAI worked in the government for 12 years, and that government was deemed the most corrupt government in the history of Liberia. What made you think he's the rescuer now?
Okay, thank you. I will answer that.
And number two, in this America that we live, Mr. Toll.
Yeah, hold on, Aaron, hold on 1 minute. Let me bring the other caller in, and I'll just tell him. Just give me 1 second. Hold on. Okay, caller, just hold on. Aaron was on. Go ahead, Aaron, finish.
Yeah, let me finish my last question.
Okay.
In America that we say, okay, if you need a letter of recommendation for a new job, who's the best person you go to for letter of recommendation? Your former boss, right?
Aaron, I don't believe you're gonna pull a punch below the
So
belt like that.
let me finish. Have you guys in the Unity Party ever asked yourself why Joseph Boakai, former boss, cannot lift his hands off to become president of Liberia?
All right,
Have you guys ever asked yourself?
thank you. Let me take this other caller. Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate it. All right, caller, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. So. This is Elvis calling from Minnesota.
Okay, let me join this other caller here. Hold on, Ever, please. Just hold on 1 minute. Let me join this other caller, and I will tell them to wait while you finish your comment. Okay, caller, just hold on. Let Evers finish. Evers, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say to the part I agree with George in terms of him saying that Cummings can't be the one to ask JMB to be his vice president. I think that would be suspicious.
Yeah, but Evers, listen. Yeah. You're going to argue that, which is okay to argue that, but at least be a little bit. I'm not saying you guys are not being sincere, but let's look at it from other viewpoint. Ambassador Boakai served 12 years as vice president. Do you guys really believe that he was going to go back again to be vice president?
Then why you went to the collaboration?
Why you think Cummings allowed to join with him? What was Cummings thinking?
What I'm saying, Mr. Toy, is like a woman and a man. Even most women, they may find you attractive, they may want to be with you, but it's like the main place to go approach the woman. So in this case, it's the man who's going to be the president or the head of the ticket to approach his vice president to be his vice president. So if Cummings went and asked VP, like Mr. George said, Cummings went and asked Boakai to be his VP, it was like, okay, what's really going on? What he got off his sleeve? They'll just be so suspicious, and it'll be kind of degrading for Mr. Cummings because it's like, let me come to you and ask you to be my running mate. You don't come. So even if Cummings wants to be the one, even if Cummings will accept being the vice president, Boakai has to be the one to initiate the whole conversation. And then quickly, let me say this. When it comes to this whole Ellen Johnson Sirleaf thing, I mean, politics is all about interest. And Ellen Johnson Sirleaf has some assurances from George Weah that she couldn't get from Joseph Boakai. And you can't blame her because the reality is she made Joseph Boakai in terms of politics. He had no political experience. He was never even elected mayor from Lofa County or even superintendent or even representative, let alone senator.
Okay. Are you there? Yeah, go ahead. Oh. Okay. Okay, I think you guys can you hear me, Evers? Hello? Oh no, okay. All right, let's do this. All right, folks, Samson told Mr. George, were you able to hear?
What? Yeah. But that's the thing everyone's saying. There's no way.
Yeah, hold on, Evers, hold on 1 minute, please. Okay. Let me see. Hello, now can you hear me? No. Okay, hold on, guys. You guys call back. Let me put this thing together. Call back. Something's going on here. I don't know why. Okay. In the meantime, let me restart, and then you guys can call me back, please. We'll be. We still have about 10 more minutes here to go. So, Mr. George, why these guys are calling me back? Please go ahead. I think most of the I think Eva is on the same page with you, saying that Comey shouldn't be the one to ask. Which that's fine, but for me, I'm saying, look where we are now.
You see, because Mr. Toy, politics is very tricky.
Samson told LIBERIAN Public Radio, what's your name? Where you're calling from?
Yes, Samson today Ducle, calling from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, make a point.
Yeah, I was listening to you guys, and it's very interesting, especially when it comes to the body politics of our country. We always Liberia. And you know, sometimes it have to for people to say, but Liberian people, one good thing about them, when they make up their mind for somebody, criticism can carry you. Nothing can stop them what they want. Ellen Johnson said he can do what she want to do. But at this time, God is ready for BOAKAI. And for Mr. Cummings, I'm sorry for him. He is a good guy in the face, but the way in which he run politics is wrong. Money can't do everything. While other people are chasing the young guy in the time, and you chasing the young girls. So it is not good that way. Sometimes you have to be patient and agree to certain ways. Sometimes money can't do everything, especially when somebody charismatic and love.
Okay.
Your money cannot stop everything. So let him try next time, maybe 2029 to 2036, maybe he will do well.
Okay.
So
All right.
Thank
you. Mr. George, just write that down for me, please. Okay, thank you. Let me take this other caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind? Hello? Hello, caller, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind? Hello? Okay. All right, Mr. Josh, I think I'm getting some. I think I need to call some of these people back. Folks, just give us 1 minute here. Let me call this. Okay. Samson told LIBERIAN Public Radio, what's your name? Where you're calling from? Please make it brief because I have other people on the line. Please. You gotta lower your monitor. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, lower your monitor, please.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Hello? Yeah, lower your monitor, please. Oh.
Go ahead. He hasn't done that yet. Okay. All right, call us when you get it together, please. Samson told LIBERIAN Public Radio, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind? Hello? Okay, they're gone, everybody. Okay. All right, Mr. Josh.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Before we wrap it up here, go ahead.
Yeah. So all these things that people are saying, I don't know. The whole thing now is we should be talking about people, policy, and platform. This is what we should be talking because that thing is being on the train. What is it? The train has left the station already. But because because you don't want to come with this stabilizer leadership skill, this is not. I have not seen that yet to be displaced in this man. Just imagine all the people that were surrounding him when there was tough time fighting for his political career. At the end of the day, he had reached a point that he would pick as a running mate. And all these people, none of them were around him.
Okay, let me take that. Now, come on, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now. How are you?
Oh, not bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to squeeze it in quickly.
Yeah, please.
The the IE man, I'm a IE man too. But my brother, let me tell you, you said that Waka working in the government, I was considered the most corrupt government. But don't forget, George we are to serve in that government. He was in the Senate. What was some of the bill that he passed to curtail some of the corruption? You understand? So you guys gotta answer that question, man.
All right.
Let's look at the present government. And then lastly, I'm a Gongo man, but from the deliberation today on Spoon Talk by Queen, I see the future of Liberia better on the wing. Even if I may not go nowhere, but I trust the ability to help BOAKAI. For example, coming to my brother George, they just forgot about it here. You don't expect the people to come go as DB on a Kumi. In fact, if I had an opportunity like you, closer to Kumi, you should have recommended that you go as senator for Maryland County. Let me try that side. You know, that would be good experience for him. Okay. But anyway, I don't want to talk too much to the middle-aged farmer.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Samson to LIBERIAN Public Radio. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Yeah, hi, Mr. To. I'm calling from New Jersey. My name is T.
Hey, T. Good evening. How you doing?
Not bad.
Okay.
You know, when I hear people talking, I listen to your whole analysis, right?
Yeah.
When I hear people talk and say, oh, from listening to Jeremiah Kun today, Mr. Cummings should hang it up because they see the future bright in Jeremiah Kun. What I saw today, I ain't seen nothing. Jeremiah Kun can articulate nothing that he can do for Liberia. That is same old story. Come there with a sweet talk and take the country backwards. And there's the thing.
But did you say sweet talk? Maybe that is sweet talk that
yes,
moved.
It is sweet talk.
Yeah, but maybe that is sweet talk moved those people.
It ain't moving there nowhere. Let me say something, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Maybe I don't know. Some of our ladies yet. I personally look at things. For me personally, I don't know what mirror do other people looking in. If BOAKAI and Joria stay in the race, we must well get our dancing shoes for Joria's second term because BOAKAI ain't going nowhere when it comes to. I would like to see Joria and Mr. Cummings in the race, and that's the two people I've seen. That's the vision I've seen. Me. All the noise about BOAKAI. And here's the thing. BOAKAI was VP for Ellen Johnson Sally twice. 12 years. Why the woman never put him in hand off? And they're talking, say, you're talking about the train already left the station because he picked Jeremiah Kun. If anything, BOAKAI the one who should put find somewhere to sit down and say, you know what? Mr. Cummings, I'll put your hands up. Let me retire sweet and relax myself and enjoy my life.
But sister, let me ask you this. The comment that I've been making, why is it that Comey, knowing fully well that Ambassador BOAKAI is not going to go second to nobody after 12 years, why would Comey not go into this, knowing all of those things, and try to find way to collaborate with him, either go second or you don't go into this thing at all? What happened?
You are not in America here, right? You are not in America here.
Right.
When the people running for office right now, Donald Trump want to run again and defend it. And these people will go with Joe Biden, all these people that went here on here, toes, later on before. Why should I? And even me who said now as a mother, I would not tell my child, say, you know what? When you get into something, you're looking at it already. You already tell yourself you will be defeated. So give in and let somebody go ahead of you and just let it go. No.
So let me push a little bit on this. So perhaps you guys didn't read the tea leaf correct then.
Well, we read like how?
Because if you're saying that in this country, yes, you can do that. But in Liberia, perhaps Ambassador BOAKAI was not looking at it from that.
But that's what we keep telling these people, say that judgment they make is not good. And their man from Lofa, or they will always pick it because the man suffer enough. That boy in there, that charity thing we're running. If Mr. Cummings, this is my thing, my support for Mr. Cummings. I like the way he running his campaign. He's not fussing, he's not disrespecting nobody like their usual behavior. If Mr. Cummings wins today or tomorrow, he will be fine. He win, he will be fine. But at the end of the day, they're the one will be putting themselves backwards. Because I can tell you what I saw today, that Jeremiah Kun would come to wherever to represent Liberia all over the world, whatever, when Joseph Boakai can move around. I didn't see it in that man today. They're making that even articulate. They're making that even express itself. So they thought of Mr. Cummings not making good decisions and slip Jeremiah Kun slip. Okay, fine. And you know, they won't go behind him, fine. Because they were the same people that were passing around here and lying custom to disrespect the man. Liberia politics, we gotta change it. If you feel your life is in better stage than where it was, then by all means vote for Joria. If you feel Joseph Boakai suffer enough that he should be president before something happened to him or he leave the face of the earth, then vote for him. But nobody must say the principle because the man that one term because he would do one term. How sure are we he would do one term? How sure? There's another group of people lined up behind Joseph Boakai to can't get rich and to can't eat. So what we're talking here, you don't see them. They draw lower, then why don't want to get up in the morning? They cost and they let's go on. They carefully then. So you think they mean well for Liberian people?
I'm bringing Cassidy. I hope to bring him on tomorrow anyway.
You can bring in our call in. The reason why they're fighting Mr. Cummings, because the thing that Mr. Cummings want to bring, he might not get the country government, but I believe strongly he can take our country back and make it respectful again in the world. Whether the Jeremiah Kun, the Boakai, whoever together, like bro, we stay behind the bottom. We already moving behind. We almost to the gate. The moment Jeremiah Kun and Boakai get in office, we'll be entering the gate of poverty more. We already there. So please, Mr. Cummings gotta say a principle for nobody.
Okay.
If that what Liberian people want, let them go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Wow. Folks, the emotional are raw. I mean, these are human beings, human emotional. I mean, there's been display here. So I think tomorrow I will have to change my tune. Let me take this other call and see whether they're gonna blast at me as well. Samson told LeBron Public, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Yeah, Mr. Toll, how you doing, man?
Fine.
I'm calling from New Jersey.
Okay.
George.
Thank you, George. Thank you. Yeah. What's on your mind, please?
Yeah, Mr. Toll, I always follow your show, and I think Honorable Boakai choice, his decision was welcoming to us, and I think it was correct. You see, Mr. Toll, Joseph Boakai could only pick one person at a time. Because with power grieving at Liberia, one is not George. It shouldn't be anybody that was fought in our country. Because it's Jeremiah Kun is a country boy from Nima, so it shouldn't be him. You see, it's bad. How will you gonna see George we are when you're in small confusion all over? So if the opposition don't put aside all of George we are, we end up retaining that position. I can tell you. Because number one, I expected Mr. Cummings to go directly with Joseph Boakai, because Mr. Cummings, he thief on the private sector. Boakai have been working in government for years. We all support that activity. People can't fool Cummings, oh no, you can make it. One thing I know, they are living in the United States. My brother been here 20 years, he big Cummings man, he never went to Liberia, he living in Georgia. He all his friends and Cummings people, they live in Georgia and other places, and they don't go on the ground to see the reality. I'm telling you, Mr. Toll, I follow your show right there. The people don't go home to see the reality. They just talk and they're living in America. And that's how the people make decisions.
Okay.
So I just called to give my contribution, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Folks, emotions are raw. I mean,
you know,
go ahead, Mr. George.
You know, it's just sad. How people just drive out of conclusion.
What do you mean?
Yeah, the high scholar. People just sit down, they don't go to the library, they don't know what's happening there.
Let me take this other one. I think this will be our last caller. Samson told LeBron Public, you'll be the last caller. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Yes, Samson told. This is Lasana calling from Minnesota.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to buttress my sister, or I just left. I know myself I once is the ANC partisan, but we have to forget about this notion. If something is not good for you, it doesn't mean that it's not good for others. And this is one of the reasons why, if you're not good Liberia, you just feel that everything about Mr. Comey is okay. It's not okay. We that surrounding Mr. Comey, we are the problem. And we have to forget about this. Let us tell the truth. If somebody's time comes, we'll give the flower to the person. But to come with very personal and express is not good. It will not help anything. Presidency is not belong to one person. If we just feel that Mr. Comey is good, he should be the president, it not go that way. God answers prayer many ways. So we have to really, really forget about that and give a strong effort. The love of Liberia should be the love for everyone.
Okay. Thank
How
you.
best we can change the country. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, folks, Samson told Liberian Public Radio. Okay, let me answer this. Samson told Liberian Public Radio, what's your name, where you're calling from, what's on your mind?
Hey, Mr. Tool, this Mountie Boys is calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
Well, thank you for calling. Go ahead, what's on your mind?
Tool, yeah, you see the problem we got. The ANC people are not fair to Liberian people. I was listening to Spoon talk to them. As if I took God got respectful. Isn't gonna agree. These people were behind Jeremiah Kuhn in the secret, begging him to become vice president. The man turned them down. Now they're going after him. If you watch the show today, look at them. The people are now with you guys. The 2 years. The old man over there here are in the same state, by George. Which I got high regard for. You know the old man? You talking about tradition. We all know tradition. You know the tradition. I'm a lumber man. You a pellet man. We know the tradition. Don't let nobody come fool us. You can't fool us. We were in the bush. We came back.
So what I said that is lie.
No, he said
anything. I'm not saying you lying. I'm not saying you lying.
No, he said I know the tradition, this and that. So I just wanted to maybe I said something other line.
No. What we're trying to say is this man does not have the number. You just said you know, Papa. You know the BOAKAI. You
I
said
don't know that.
Look at what you're saying. When okay, you don't know that. You're not going to agree. And then what the problem is, you will never agree. When BOAKAI told the man, say, I'm not going as VP anymore, that should ring into your mind. So you think he's going to come tell you, say, everybody was sitting around the whole block. Yeah, Comey go out. Comey is the only man to get a job too, and he refused. Since in Liberia, they have never said the person should go with this person as a vice president. Since we've been in Liberia, they get him in a job, he refused the job. And because of some partisan. You're not voting. We all in America, we're not voting. What time you get to, did you register? Look at the registration. If you register, how are you going for? The people told you.
Okay. All right.
So thank you, for the show, but it's not going to work. It's over with. The train is on the run.
Okay.
So we inside.
All right. I hope you're saying your strong support to Ambassador BOAKAI, because if not, it's not President. We are. Yeah, well, I mean, we're all going to support, but if we don't do it right, we're going to have serious problems. All right, Mr. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it.
We carry you as the next public work minister. Just be with the next public work. And Pajo going to be a pastor over there. All right.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Samson to LIBERIAN, you're the last caller. Please make it brief because we're way over time here.
How are Mr. Thor? How you doing?
Not bad.
This is Elena topic on a discussion, even though I know you supported BOAKAI. But that man will not be president. Start hitting your head. That's why people can see that he will go make our president because what happened to LIBERIAN. That people not qualified to be president. Start talking about him on your show set. You're not qualified.
I tell you.
Then working like that, I will go the lesson I'm 24 hours sleeping.
So who you got? So who you got in mind? President we are or Honorable Comey? Huh?
They tell you what gay president said. Now what gay president?
So
when nobody else in the race, President, we are vote for the second time.
Oh.
Because nobody else in the race. Because BOAKAI not qualified, Cummings not qualified to be president. You know what Eddie Johnson said it group. Let them go. They do their own time. Let them go. You know, say Cummings connected to Eddie Johnson said it. So there's no way we can make that people president. So to bring Robert Sedi back in government again, it will not work. It will not work. BOAKAI, we understand, but you will not be president too. Because you need to go sit down. You need to go sit down. So when you're talking, you say, President, we are not doing nothing. He's the best person in the race for now. I don't see nobody there. And the one in Niba County, I know now we're not looking for people who are qualified, we're looking for county. What kind of county in Liberia will lead out and they will get president? All the counties value. It's not only Niba County. So for that thing never said Niba County get for Niba. You get okay if you win Niba County, you don't win the other county, then you win the election. You don't win the election. So that argument, I don't know what kind of argument is that. So sometimes it makes people bad. But for now, I President, we are the one.
Yeah, but don't get vexed. We're just having discussion already.
So, Brother Samson told that true. But start supporting that man. Find somebody else to support. I prepare. You need to go to the national and go take care of children there. And then no one may our president. So start wasting your time.
So what will happen if he what will happen if he become president? What you will say?
It will not happen. So start dreaming like that. Find somebody else. You don't see nobody will go with president. We are. But even the whole race and only president we are stand up in the race. Everybody else, they're not stand up there. Maybe the next election somebody will tap from somewhere. But for now, that president we are in our race. The better person we're looking at.
Okay.
So start talking about that topic there.
All right.
For different person.
Okay.
Thank you for your show.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, Mr. George,
yeah,
as far as the last caller is concerned, the door is shut for me and you. Just CDC alone now. First round, they're saying. I know when I'm hearing this kind of stuff, he's jumping all over here tonight. But anyway, go ahead and close it for us.
Yeah, let me just say this. The last one, we have to be very respectful to one another. The view expressed by her is not the part of the management staff of the radio, because you're calling people dead man, this and that, gay man. Right. That is not what we do here. You can come and make you can come and make your point, but those kind of sarcastic remark on other people that you disagree with, I don't think will be okay, because this is the same thing people complaining about, that people insult the president. And now if you say people insult the president is bad, why would you come to start using those kind of words on other people that they believe in? That's not, it's just inappropriate to do so. If we come here, the platform is there for everybody to express their view. But you don't go to the extreme, calling people by names,
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think that is. And the other caller said something. Look, we have to forget. You see, that's what I always say. We have to forget about this tribe business. One of the gentlemen I called before. I'm not concerned about who become president. I'm concerned about who and what the person will do for the country. Someone can come from Morovia, they may not do a good job. Someone can come from Maigibi, one will do a better job, and name will be Yabaro or Kopo. So we should start this tribal thing here. Because Jeremiah is from Nima County, so now you're telling me that a country board from Nima County. What that has to do with what we're talking about? We're talking about Liberia. If he's good, if they won the election, he will rule Liberia. They will make the decision for the country. The decision will not only be for Nima County, it should not be for the entire country. So let us stop this tribal thing. That was because that's
what Kuhn said today, though.
You see, that's why when I talk about, I said, these people in the mind, they still have the Congo country.
Yeah, but Kuhn said today, I don't mean to interrupt, but he said today, well, it doesn't matter whether you're from Nima, Grand Jida, River G, we're all Liberians, he said.
So people must start throwing the kind of thing. But when people are saying it, you make the country more divided. Okay? So we should stop this kind of thing. All I'm saying, Mr. Jeremiah Kuhn has been named VP running mate. I heard a person he interview. He has a very telling story, good, but his role in the Senate, he will have to defend it, and I saw that he could not defend those things. Really.
Oh, he gave us some wonderful project example today.
Oh man, he did not defend. Same thing. I want to see it, but there are follow-ups. What he did in the Senate.
Hopefully he can migrate here. Hopefully he can come to LPR where he will be questioned.
So I didn't see, because he was in the according to him from 2012 up to the senatorial bid. He had been there and he was chairman. I think chairman on Ways and Means. So the money.
But he explained today how he got that position.
Well, Mr. So, explanation and what you did, those are two different things.
He also explained today that when he get the excess money that he's not utilizing, he goes and spend it on his people.
Samson too. Is that one a senator or representative is elected for? That when you got?
No, I'm just giving you a few points.
But Bolomi, you can't say that to people, and you want me to buy it, and you buy nothing that he get excess money and he goes on and take the project. Yes, but is that the function?
He builds school buildings. And he turn it over to the government.
They come back again to the question: is that the function of a legislature?
Okay. All right,
is that a function of a lawmaker? Okay, he got an excess money. He built school good. He built market building in his district. Fine. What happened to the rest of the country?
All right. Okay, let me get out of here so I can call President Kesedi. Hopefully he will join us tomorrow. Hopefully he will be my guest here tomorrow.
And yeah, the same people who are blaming the 63 concession passed through the house. He was there. What was his role? So you see, only thing these are the questions I want to be discussing about the country.
Yeah, but you gotta be careful before they say, because you ain't got an elephant meat. That's why you say elephant rotting you.
Oh no, those are genuine questions.
Okay.
Is that not genuine question?
Yeah, yeah. I'm just saying you gotta be careful.
I heard him talking about, I heard him talking about electricity good. I heard him talking about the war and economic chronicle. He told a story, yes. But have we not heard the story before?
Well, he was not a vice presidential candidate before.
I'm asking you, not vice president. I said, have we not heard the story before?
But what makes you think it's not going to change now, Mr. Josh?
We heard the same story. It didn't change when the man got there. What he do? One person, we are camping. What he said.
Well, that's President we are. This is Ambassador BOAKAI. That's President we are. This is Ambassador BOAKAI.
Don't do the double standard. That's the same thing. The same standard we want to hold George we are to. You don't want to hold the other people too. I said we heard the story before. We heard it before. And the man became president. What happened?
Okay, so let's try this.
No, listen. He's not on the BOAKAI.
Yeah, but let's try again on Ambassador BOAKAI and see if it's not going to work.
Yeah, let's try again. We'll continue to what the song said. We'll continue to seek that we can find.
Okay.
And so,
all right, Mr. Josh. Thank you very much for coming in. We appreciate it. I don't know why Sister didn't pick up, why Mr. So didn't come in. But I hope to bring Mr. Kesedi on here tonight.
Oh, no. Sister might be busy, I know. Because Councilor Gongo is supposed to be coming here.
Oh, okay.
Probably, so he may be tired, I sure. Or he at work, but I think. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Mr. George, thank you very much, and I'll say good night to you.
Good night, sir.
Again, folks, Samson to LIBERIAN Public Radio. We want to say thank you very way past our bedtime. And I want to thank all of you tuning in. Those of you that call in and we were unable to get your call, please. We say next time, try to call. I'm going to do my best here today to contact President Kesedi. I'm hoping that he will be my guest tomorrow if everything goes well. If not, we'll continue. But I think the subject matter here, we'll continue to talk about it. Because we need to put these people feet to the fire, so to speak, so that they will do what is supposed to be done for our people. As I stated here earlier, I'm not that confident in the ability of Ambassador Buck, and it's me. And even though I support him, I mean, I admire him, I support him, but I'm not that confident in his ability to curtail the corrupt behavior. Not that he himself going to be corrupt, far from that. But I'm not too sure if he's able to hold people responsible. I'm not too sure. So those are kinds of stuff that I'm hoping to hear from the VP, and hopefully we will get that. Other than that, I will say thank you very much and good night, folks.
C'est Otis Wema, encore une autre fidèle qui l'Amérique n'a pas loupé nous. Quand il y a Sylvie, il y a quoi qui j'ai loupé presse. L'Amérique n'a pas loupé, t'as bien de moi avec moi, nous deux. En ce moment, on va battre au moins, néo. On t'a dit, t'as mon mouillé, on s'est battu pour moi, il dit, là, là, l'occasion. Quand on soit du là, allez! Why not? That's your law. Yao, Abela Lokayo, Mivito Jobai, Mivito Nova, Martis Mokayo, Manager Gigi, what they jamais forcé. Si tu connais. L'animateur Choco, Nosca Yassin de Toyebli. L'homme a tout fait pour Mivito. Aniché les vœux. Bon, nous doit dire l'eau. Bâtir moi. Conseiller, c'est moi. Dis-moi. Attends, nous, bébé.